After a run as an engineer, Lesego Semenya, commonly known as Les the Chef, gave up a well-paying job to start from scratch at a chef school. Now has been making waves in the culinary world and aims to take the snobbiness out of cooking. He joins us out this morning to tell us more on his latest appointment in the latest season on Come Dine With Me South Africa. Les, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, it's a very interesting place that you find yourself in, where you decide to trade in one side of your life and say, I'm going to explore something completely new, which is, one may say, that a risk that many of us sometimes fail to do simply because of the fear. But you did it, and you took it head on, and you even have a book that's come out as a result of it. Tell us about that journey.
Well, I always tell people I was hit by a bout of madness whilst I was in my 6th year in corporate. You know, sometimes growing up in the township, you're told, just get a career and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, then in your case, you got a career in engineering.
That's it.
So that was a good career, which means that your parents were very proud of you.
They were, and you also get very proud of the salary and what it comes with and the perks, but you don't actually realize that happiness isn't in a salary. And until you're in that space and you realize you're sitting at home in a fancy apartment, but you're not enjoying life. You're not actually in a happy space. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to become, but I knew I needed to get out of corporate life.
And you've been at that time, you'd been in corporate life for quite some time.
Yeah, 6 years. I was at a senior level.
Sure. And then you decided, well, from one side of it, where we're going to go into engineering, we're going to engineer food. I mean, where do you even draw the similarities? Where did you find food?
That's why I say it was a bout of madness.
Yeah.
I traveled South Africa for about 9 months after I quit corporate life. I didn't know what I wanted to become, but I knew I wanted to know my country better. And luckily, it was just before the 2010 World Cup. So I saw a gap in hospitality, but I'm someone who wants to know what is happening. I don't want to be told. So instead of hiring a chef to run a kitchen for me, I decided to actually go study to be a chef. The goal wasn't to actually become a chef working. I actually just want to understand what a chef life was about, and well, here I am. Well,
here you are. You even got the book out. Let's talk a little bit about this book. I think, is it called Dijo, My Food, My Journey?
That's it, yeah.
Tell me about Dijo, My Food, My Journey. So you definitely have brought it down from a home to a home level where we can all understand the various concepts.
Yes. What I did when I went to chef school, I started getting onto social media, talking about my journey, and I started telling people about how things are made and what is in the stuff that we buy, all the processed foods. And it gained traction online, and people started following me and started getting more into what I was about. And I started building up a brand, hence the Les the Chef name and the brand. And from there I realized there's a gap. Our food isn't put on a pedestal in South Africa. It isn't put on a level where we're so proud, want to share it with the world.
Gotcha.
And I realized that a lot of our recipes disappear when our grandparents and our mothers pass away. And
I just want to take a look at this book while you're talking about it and see what we can do. If I can cook this, you know, by the time if I can cook this, then anybody can cook this. Trust me, if I can make this, anybody can make this. So it's a beautiful book, and I must actually say it's a stunning book, and it's riveting. But like, when you're talking about being able to bring it home and following, do we have to follow everything to the T, or does it allow for like just a little bit of innovation from your side?
Not really. I always tell people that the only recipes you need to follow exactly to the T are pastry recipes.
Gotcha.
Because those are scientific. You can't mess those around too much.
Yeah.
But everything else requires flair, it requires confidence. And also you need to just play around. If there's something missing in your kitchen, mix it up a little bit. And that is how you find recipes, actually. Best recipes are found by mistake.
The best recipes are found by mistakes, and the best recipes are found when you've got a low budget and you need to be creative, right? Yeah. And I think that, I don't know if this constitutes a low budget, because I'm smelling pesto in the studio. So clearly this is not low budget. But tell us about the array that you've just prepared for this morning.
Okay, so on Come Dine With Me, the contestants always run to the kitchen and I get a minor heart attack seeing how they cook.
Yeah.
So the guys who produced the show called me and said, please can you show us your way of doing what they're doing in the kitchen and a twist on that. So on the very first episode, one of the contestants, Lucky, made a bruschetta. And they asked me to do it in the way I would do it, a chefy way. And that was what I did over here.
So what did you add there?
A bruschetta is basically a canapé, which is an open sandwich. So in this one over here, there is rosa tomatoes,
you are
there's
fantastic
mozzarella.
For my breakfast diet. You
really?
Are awesome. Perfect timing. Welcome. You can stay.
Well, I need to come here more often.
Please do.
And there's basil paste, like I said, that's the part that's not cheap. But then there's also watercress. Watercress adds a little bit of a herby, bitter taste to whatever you're making.
Okay.
Then on this side is from my book. These are Inkomazi panna cottas.
inkomazi panna cotta. So literally, it's you taking everything from the fridge and you're mixing it up.
Yeah, and I also wanted to. It's a play on the stuff I grew up with.
Yeah.
My book also. The things that my mom, in the middle of the month, you know, when times are tough, inkomazi was the order of the day. Yeah, and so I decided to play around with that memory of taking the flavors of my youth. And I took inkomazi and decided to make a dessert with it.
And then you added some chocolate, so you won already.
The chocolate is actually South African, actually.
Wow.
That is a South African producer down in Cape Town, the very first producer of chocolate from bean to bar. He went straight up to Tanzania and came back with the cocoa beans, and they make chocolate from scratch.
Les, you certainly have impressed us all this morning. All the best with your endeavors there. I know that you've got the book out.
Thank you.
Make sure that you check out the book, Dijo, My Food, My Journey, and that is available, I think, is it all bookstores?
Everywhere, yeah.
Every bookstore. So you make sure that you get yourself a copy, and of course, find out how to make meals that much more memorable for you and your family. While